Welcome back to Feed the Love. So we're making picadillo beef. Right now I've got a pan that I just made cabbages. I've actually made 2 vegetable dishes, no meat in them. So I'm able to just keep going. The reason I'm doing that is because I want to deglaze the pan and have all that flavor from the previous dish in here. No reason to waste all that. So what I'm putting in here is going to be pickled carrots, ginger, green pepper, potatoes, spring onions, black pepper, probably some other stuff which I've already made. So what I'm doing here is I'm just sauteing these. This is that white potato. You can see it's kind of like the Holy Trinity when you're cooking French food. You know, you have your roux, but you also have your vegetables, your onions, carrots, and celery. So instead of that, we're doing a picadillo beef. I've got green bell pepper. Probably should have this to medium. Got green bell pepper, got a white potato. I chose a white potato because it was soft. I didn't see any red potatoes that were by themselves. The carrots are pickled, so they have a little bit of crunch to them, but they're also a little bit softer because they've been pickling for a week. Spring onion, couldn't even tell you what spices, and of course I've grated the ginger. So I'm gonna let this cook for a minute. Throw some olive oil on there, and then the beef is gonna go in once this kind of shrinks down a little bit. And the beef is going to be flavored by all of this goodness that's in here. Add a little bit of coconut aminos just on the top. I don't really want it to be on the pan. The pan is full of veggies, so it'll help bring the flavor out of those vegetables. I'll put the lid on to help them soften. So here's the beef. Part of the reason I'm making this dish is because I want to. The other reason is because I keep seeing guys in the gym who are eating rice and beef only, and there's no reason to do that anymore. So what I'm doing here is I need to wash this now. Everything with protein needs to be washed when it's meat-based. It's 90% lean, 10% fat. I could have done the 93% lean, but it was twice as much money for half the beef, and I need enough to last through the week. So this is cooking down. When that's done, I'm gonna put this in on top and we're gonna brown it. And then we're gonna set it aside and we're gonna start meal prepping here in a little bit. Okay, so I can see it bubbling away, which is good. I've got it to medium heat now. The goal here is for the potatoes to soften a little bit. I'm watching the bubbles, they're still big bubbles. They want them to get a little bit smaller. And what's happening here with the potatoes is that they're gonna get starchy, and then we're gonna throw our beef in. We want the starchiness because it's gonna take that juice and thicken it up, so then it becomes just like a ground hamburger, but it has all these amazing vegetables, all this amazing flavor in it. Starting to get thicker. Stir it. Want all that beautiful juice in there. Oh yeah, it deglaze that pan really well with all that juice. Starting to make its own little gravy color with all the juice coming out and the starch of the potatoes. Onion in there that I don't want. It's got onion roots. the spring onion, I washed them, but I didn't go through the roots to make sure the grit's out, so I don't want the roots in there. Oh, good. There's nothing on the bottom. Okay, so we've got that beautiful beef in there. It's sitting on top of the vegetables right now, which is perfectly fine. I don't want it to get dry, so now I'm going to do my add oil, and then I'm going to add black pepper and coconut aminos. So olive oil, and you can use coconut oil, but I've noticed with beef, coconut oil tends to dry it out a little. I'm just throwing a drizzle in there. Yep, I'm blocking your way. Okay, black pepper. Sometimes you work with what you got in the kitchen. Love fresh cracked black pepper. It's like the maximum spice I can handle. Okay, so now we're gonna start breaking up the beef, getting it down to the bottom of the pan so it can cook. And the only reason I'm breaking it up is because I want to get it down, mixed in with those veggies. There we go. So, yes, we did the cabbage and tomato sauce on there, but it was all kind of deglazed off. There was a little bit of color on the bottom. This gravy is coming from the carrots, the peppers, the ginger, the spices that we put in there. It's making a beautiful brown gravy, and the meat is just gone in, so it hasn't even had a chance for that to turn brown and beefy and beautiful yet. Right now, it's just kind of cooking. We've got it on medium heat. It's a great way to have something beautiful with more nutrition, more produce, more vegetables in there. And it gives you more flavor than just a traditional beef. So this is the dish that everything was in. These were vegetables. This is the dish that we're going to put the beef in when it's done. We're probably going to throw some spring onions on it once it's in the food prep bowl. I've got spring onions and cilantro here. I am going to be making a tortellini dish, and then I'm going to be doing some egg bites. So you guys watch on fast forward while we wait for this to brown. So these are our Greek potatoes, which got forgotten, which is fine. They're crispy on the top. Beautiful white herb. You have all that mint that went in here with the lemon. And they're nice and soft. So we are at the place now where we want them to spread out so that we mix them up. We want them to spread out so that they get coated evenly with oil, and then they're gonna brown evenly. So here's those. And you can see they're just covered in herbs, and they got that olive oil. Olive oil's cooked down. This is 350 degrees, so I'm gonna set the timer for 20 minutes. When they come out, they should be beautifully crispy and a little bit brown on top. So the beef is kind of starting to brown evenly, which is good. We need to break it up now. But you can see how thick the starch from the potatoes is making everything. But you also have these vibrant colors, the greens from the peppers, oranges from the carrots. And I'm just breaking it up to make it ground beef. If you have one of those mashers, great, use your masher. I know people love them. I'm just breaking stuff up into sizes by eye. The flat side of the spatula is perfect for this. Now if you notice, I mixed up the potatoes with a different size spatula so I can keep straight what's being cooked and what. So I'm mixing it together. An easy trick to find the large pieces is once you've mixed it and stirred it, and I mean stir it, I'm stirring it, pulling everything off the bottom, pulling everything off the sides, because I want all those vegetables mixed in. Now, shake the guy gently, and all the large pieces are going to naturally come to the top because nothing's sticking to the bottom anymore. It's got the veggies that are kind of making that gravy, everything's loose and incorporated, and you can see the large chunks like here. Just like in a toy box when you're little, they come right to the top. All the large toys came to the top, all the dense toys, small toys went to the bottom. It's like you're panning for gold. Now, if you have one of those things that mashes all of your meat up, your potatoes or your hamburger, that's gonna start mashing up those potatoes too, which isn't a bad thing. You get some creamy chunks of potato and you get some potato mixed in, and it just makes this beautiful, starchy, thick, flavorful, almost gravy on your hamburger, except you're not using a bunch of flour, you're using healthy ingredients. You get this amazing picadillo beef, which almost has, it's not quite stroganoff, but it's pretty good. All the meat is browned. So now is when you taste it. All the meat's been browned, broken it up, all the meat's browned. Want to see what it tastes like. And I want to do this because I need to know, since I don't cook with any salt whatsoever, everything I have is veggies and herbs and spices. Do I need to add more coconut aminos? So it needs black pepper and it needs coconut aminos, but the flavor's there. It's light and it's clean. I only added half of a teaspoon of red pepper flakes to this, and it's got some heat to it. And I put all those green onions in there. So it's bubbling away. Now, the reason I'm gonna let this bubble is because I want the bubbles to get smaller. So when you're making anything, any sort of juice or anything, I want all that flavor incorporated in. You can see it's kind of thick when I move it, but the bubbles are still big. It's gonna stay a little bit runny until the juice starts having smaller bubbles. So I'm just gonna leave it on here for a few minutes. I'm gonna turn down the heat just a little bit. I want it to simmer until the bubbles get a little bit smaller. And that's gonna be a really nice gravy in there. Snacking on that bread cheese. It's crispy and delicious. Bubbles are getting smaller. The gravy's getting thicker. So I'm gonna take this off the heat, and it goes in the sink. I'm gonna put it in my bowl. Now this bowl is heat rated to up to 550 degrees. This is nowhere near 550 degrees. So I'm okay doing this with a glass bowl. I purposely try not to do this in the plastic bowls because I don't want plastics on my food, even though I do have plastic mixing bowls. The first couple spoonfuls will splatter. Once you get a little mound of food in there, it doesn't splatter, which is nice because that's hot. You need to let beef rest. One thing people don't always do with hamburger meat is they don't let it rest. Beef is gonna absorb those flavors. It's gonna absorb that juice as you let it rest. You let a good steak rest, you're gonna wanna let your hamburger meat rest too. Okay, when we started this, we had done the cabbage, which had that beautiful brown glaze, red brown glaze from the tomatoes, right? And we didn't have any meat in this pan before. And now it is deglazed and the bottom of the pan is beautifully clean. Now, this has some amazing beef flavor. So I'm gonna make a tortellini with asparagus here in just a minute with this same pan. But before I do that, I wanna show you what this looks like. So here is the picadillo beef. You can see that it's got beautiful vegetables in it. It's got amazing flavor. You can add, I don't add salt, but you can add salt now if you want. You can add black pepper. You can add coconut aminos. Right now is when this is going to be absorbing flavor and moisture. The beef rests and it soaks up juice. So now I'm gonna just give it a little bit of olive oil because I don't want it to dry out. Now is when it's critical. When a roast comes out of the oven, those first 30 minutes it's out of the oven is when it's gonna dry out. It needs to soak up all that juice. Okay. This guy's gonna set to the side. He's gonna cool off a little bit. We're gonna use him for food prep later.